Tuko, the boy who spoke to the honeybird. Chapter 1, Tuko's Gift. Deep in the heart of the Tanzanian savanna, in a clearing bathed in golden sunlight, lived Tuko, a young boy from the Hadzabe tribe. From an early age, Tuko had shown an unusual gift, an extraordinary connection with nature. But what made him truly unique was his ability to communicate with the honeyguide, a small, clever bird that, for generations, had led hunter-gatherers to hidden beehives filled with honey. Whenever Tuko wandered into the bush, he would listen closely to the sounds around him. He had learned to whistle in a special way, mimicking the honeybird's call. To his amazement, the bird always responded. Over time, an unbreakable bond formed between the boy and the bird. His grandfather, a wise elder, often told him, "The spirits of the bush have given you a rare gift, Tuko. Learn to listen, and they will guide you." Yet, many in the tribe dismissed his ability as mere child's play. That was until a time came when their very survival depended on Tuko and his remarkable friend. Chapter 2, A Tribe in Need. That season had been harsh. The hunters returned empty-handed, the game had vanished, and edible roots were scarce. Hunger spread across the tribe. The elders murmured anxiously as the children's stomachs rumbled. A gathering was called around the sacred fire. One of the elders spoke. "We have tried all our hunting skills, but the land remains barren. Perhaps it is time to listen to those who understand nature differently." All eyes turned to Tuko. For the first time in the history of the tribe, a mere boy was entrusted with an essential mission. "If you truly speak to the honeybird, then show us the way." A mix of pride and responsibility swelled in Tuko's chest. He could not fail. Chapter 3, The Perilous Journey. At dawn, Tuko set out alone, armed with nothing but his bow and his courage. He lifted his face to the sky and whistled the special call. Moments later, a flutter of wings answered, his friend had arrived. The honeyguide chirped excitedly and flew ahead. Tuko followed, running barefoot through the tall grass. The journey was challenging. He had to dodge thorny bushes, cross a slippery stream, and avoid giant termite mounds. Then, a sudden rustling stopped him in his tracks. A leopard was near. Tuko's heart pounded. One wrong move, and the predator would notice him. The honeybird continued flying. "Keep going, my friend. Lead me further." Gathering his courage, Tuko moved forward like a shadow, silently slipping past the danger. Nature's treasure. After hours of trekking, the honeyguide let out a sharper cry, circling over a hollow tree trunk. Tuko knew what this meant, the honey was inside. But the hardest part was yet to come. The bees protecting the golden nectar were fierce. Remembering his grandfather's wisdom, Tuko quickly gathered dry leaves and lit a small torch. He carefully waved the smoke near the hive, sending the bees into retreat. Finally, with steady hands, he reached in and scooped out the rich, golden honey. A drop touched his lips, and its sweetness confirmed his success. More importantly, this honey would save his people. Chapter 5, The Return of a Hero. As Tuko walked back into the village, holding the precious honey high, he was met with cheers and applause. The honey was shared, bringing joy to the hungry children, and the elders looked upon him with newfound respect and admiration. Today, you have proven that wisdom and listening are just as powerful as strength. Tuko's name spread beyond his tribe, and his story became a legend passed down through generations. And so, the tale of Tuko, the boy who spoke to the honeybird, lived on, a story of courage, friendship, and the incredible bond between humans and nature. Tuko, the boy who spoke to the honeybird, Part 2. Chapter 6, A New Challenge. Months had passed since Tuko's legendary journey to find the honey. He was no longer seen as just a boy, he had earned the respect of the elders and hunters alike. But as the seasons changed, a new challenge arose. A long drought had settled over the savanna. The streams dried up, the trees bore little fruit, and the animals grew scarce. The Hadzabe people could no longer rely solely on hunting and gathering. Water was life, and without it, the entire tribe would suffer. One evening, as the elders gathered under the baobab tree, Tuko listened intently. "The land is dry, and the old wells no longer hold water," one elder sighed. "The spirits of our ancestors must guide us to new sources," another added. Tuko thought about the honeyguide. If a small bird could lead him to honey, could nature also guide him to water? His heart raced with an idea. He would find water for his people. Chapter 7, The Whisper of the Baobab. Tuko sat by his grandfather, the oldest and wisest member of the tribe. "Grandfather, have you ever seen nature show the way to water?" The old man chuckled, his wrinkled face glowing in the firelight. "Ah, Tuko, you listen well. Many do not know, but the great baobab trees hold secrets beneath their roots. They have survived many droughts. Follow them, and you may find what you seek." Tuko's mind raced. The baobab, the giant tree of the savanna, was known as the tree of life. Its massive trunk stored water deep inside, and its presence often meant hidden springs nearby. At dawn, Tuko set off with only his spear and a deep trust in nature. The Trail of the Elephants. The journey was long and the heat was relentless. Tuko followed the dry riverbeds, looking for clues. Suddenly, he spotted elephant tracks, large, deep imprints in the cracked earth. His grandfather had once told him, "When the land is dry, follow the elephants. They remember where water hides." Excitement surged in Tuko's chest. He followed the tracks deeper into the wilderness, watching as the elephants moved toward a rocky outcrop. Then, he saw something incredible. The elephants were digging. With their mighty tusks and trunks, they scooped out the earth, revealing a hidden waterhole beneath the sand. Tuko's eyes widened. The water was there, just beneath the surface. Chapter 9, Bringing Water Home. Tuko rushed back to the village, his feet barely touching the ground. He gathered the tribe and led them to the spot. The elders, hunters, and women all worked together, digging just as the elephants had done. Slowly, water began to pool at the bottom of the hole. The children cheered, and the elders nodded in approval. The Hadzabe had survived once more, thanks to the wisdom of the land and the keen eyes of a boy who listened to nature. That night, as they sat around the fire, Tuko's grandfather placed a hand on his shoulder. "You are more than a hunter, Tuko. You are a guide. The spirits of the land speak through you." The boy smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning of his journey. The legend lives on. The story of Tuko, the boy who spoke to the honeybird and followed the elephants to water, was told for generations. His courage, his respect for nature, and his unbreakable spirit became part of the Hadzabe legacy. To this day, when the honeyguides call and the baobabs whisper in the wind, the elders say, Tuko listens. Animal safari and hunting during Ramadan, survival in the wild. In the vast and untamed landscapes of Africa, where nature's raw beauty is on full display, the balance between survival and spiritual reflection takes on a unique form. The concept of fasting during Ramadan, a sacred time of self-discipline and devotion for millions of people, contrasts yet harmonizes with the reality of animal hunting, a fundamental part of life for both predators in the wild and indigenous hunter-gatherer tribes like the Hadzabe. As the sun rises over the savanna, predators such as lions, cheetahs, and leopards awaken, knowing that their survival depends on their ability to hunt. Unlike humans, who observe Ramadan by choosing to fast, animals experience natural fasting periods due to the unpredictability of successful hunts. A lion may go days without food, testing its endurance and patience before finally securing a meal. But how does this natural struggle for survival relate to the spiritual journey of Ramadan? And how do indigenous tribes, whose survival depends on hunting, balance their traditions with the sacred principles of fasting? The lion's struggle, natural fasting in the wild. The lion, often called the king of the jungle, embodies both strength and restraint. Unlike smaller predators that hunt daily, lions conserve their energy, sometimes fasting for long periods before a successful hunt. This mirrors the human practice of fasting during Ramadan, where patience and endurance are tested. Observing a lion on safari, one can see how its hunting patterns reflect a deeper natural rhythm. A pride may watch a herd of zebras for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But hunting is not always guaranteed. If the attempt fails, the lion must wait, experiencing an enforced fast much like humans do during the holy month. The difference? For the lion, it is not a choice but a necessity. This natural fasting and feasting cycle in the animal kingdom serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between scarcity and abundance, patience and reward, principles deeply ingrained in Ramadan. The Hadzabe, hunters in a sacred time. The Hadzabe people of Tanzania, one of the last true hunter-gatherer tribes, have followed the same way of life for thousands of years. Unlike modern societies, where food is readily available, the Hadzabe rely on the land, their tracking skills, and traditional weapons like bows and arrows to hunt for sustenance. During Ramadan, while many people abstain from food by choice, the Hadzabe continue to hunt out of necessity, as their survival depends on it. However, their relationship with hunting is deeply spiritual and respectful. They do not hunt for sport but rather as part of their deep connection with nature. For the Hadzabe, every hunt is sacred. They offer gratitude to the land, ensuring that nothing is wasted. The meat they gather is shared among the community, strengthening their bonds and reinforcing the values of togetherness. In the vast African wilderness, where survival is a relentless challenge, the lion stands as the undisputed king, commanding both reverence and fear from all that roam the land. This majestic predator's rule over its kingdom is not only defined by its size and strength, but also by its ferocity and wisdom in maintaining dominance over its territory and pride. The lion's life is a perpetual story of power, protection, and strategy, where every day is a fight to hold on to what belongs to them. A lion's territory is its most prized possession, and it is fiercely guarded. Male lions, particularly the dominant males, use their roar to announce their presence, a sound that can travel up to 5 miles through the dense African plains. Their roar is not just a symbol of authority, it's a declaration of ownership. Any intruder, whether a rogue male looking to challenge for the pride or a hunting rival like hyenas or other big cats, is met with a force that is hard to match. The struggle for territory is never-ending, and the lion, with its powerful physique and battle-hardened instincts, is always prepared to defend it. The lion's pride is an integral part of its identity. While the male lion's primary role is to protect the pride and mate with the females, the lionesses play a crucial role in the pride's survival. They are the huntresses, the strategy makers who use their superior teamwork and agility to bring down prey. Lionesses work together as a cohesive unit, planning their movements and coordinating with one another, showcasing a remarkable sense of unity and skill. The male lion, though revered for his might and protection, is dependent on the lionesses for his meals, as they are the ones that do the hunting. But while the lion's pride is its family, it is also a realm of fierce competition. The lion must constantly prove its strength, not just to its rivals but also to its own pride. Males will often face off against other males for control, resulting in epic battles, where only the most dominant survive. If a male lion loses its battle for supremacy, it may find itself exiled, forced to roam alone until it's strong enough to challenge again or find a new pride to conquer. The lion's existence is a constant balancing act between leadership and survival. Male lions, as kings of the pride, must assert their dominance through intimidation and ferocity, making sure no other male challenges their reign. Yet, even they are not immune to the harsh realities of the wild. They face threats from hyenas, who are constantly trying to steal their kills, leopards, who may sneak in and steal their cubs, and the constant challenge of food scarcity that pushes them into dangerous situations. Lions often go without meals for days, testing their endurance and patience, before finally landing a successful hunt. Lion's Kingdom, the fierce majesty of the king of the wild, but when they do hunt, it is a spectacle. The lionesses, silent as shadows, stalk their prey with unmatched precision. The male lions, while powerful, are often more passive participants in the hunt, waiting to overpower the prey with their sheer force once